All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see people popping up in the side chat. With that being said, Alan, please start us off right, brother.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh yeah, how you doing, man?
Oh man, honestly, I am tired. I just been one. It was one like 72-hour week for me. Been a very very busy weekend, and just a guy feels like he needs some dang sleep.
I understand.
Yep. It was a surprisingly long week. It was a strange week. We had some days where things went okay, and most of the days where it didn't. But made for a long week, long slow week, but it was all right. Jamie, what about you, brother? How you doing?
Better than I deserve, man. Thanks for asking and thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, we went shooting down to the CMP on Wednesday, and that was exciting. It was pretty fun. Uh, I like the range. Uh, the target system is not up to par with what we are used to, where we usually shoot, but it was nice. When
It's
you
not
have
far, but it costs 5 times as much.
No, it don't cost as much.
Is what is like dead zeros.
Yeah,
I thought it cost more. I'm sorry.
they were petty. Yeah,
Rob, what's going on, man?
Nothing but complaints. Well, that's not true. My day's over just about, so I'm happy about that. But hell of a day, It's just one of them things. Most people relax in the day. I've been at the store basically all day shopping for materials, and which should have took me an hour, took about 3.5 hours. Issues getting the stuff, the special order stuff. They couldn't find it. The payment was an issue that had to be ran 3 different times. It's just a nightmare at these damn stores, And then the workers are like rude to you because they're screwing stuff up or they lost stuff, and you're asking them to find the stuff you already paid for, and we're told to come pick up. Like, it's just nuts. People have gotten so crazy, but lots of running around. It's supposed to be an easy day, and I've been gone all damn day, and just got home. So looking forward to relaxing a little bit and bullshitting with you guys.
There you go, man. Yeah, no, it's customer service is not what it used to be. That is for sure.
Oh no, they don't even attempt to try.
That has sincerely changed ever in the last 5 years. It has sincerely changed big time, and a lot of these companies just don't give a shit anymore.
No, and straight rude, like for no reason too. Like, I should be the one upset. It's not them. I don't know. It just it's ridiculous these days. It truly is, And the extra time I had to spend today, are they paying my time? That's place is over an hour away from me, and I had to make 3 different trips today. Thankfully,
Right.
the customer's place wasn't that far, but still, it's just, it's just it's a damn hassle, And I don't know, they're lucky. That's all I can say. If things were different in this world, a lot of people would be getting punched in the face, but you can't go around doing that. So,
Yeah, I wish we could. Oh, Bama Dad, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Just trying to get the finer details of my rifle straightened out. I had a not so great time when we went shooting the other day.
Why didn't you have a good time?
Well, evidently my Chinese scope rings need to go back to China. They're not accurate at all. Today I cleaned up the rifle and took everything apart and cleaned the rings and everything, put them back in and set them down and set set 2 pieces of PVC and one in each ring, and there's about a 1/16 of an inch gap. Touches on one side and about a 1/16 off at the other, so it's torque. It could. I hope it didn't mess the scope up. I'll know tomorrow. I've got a new set of Wheeler rings coming in and everything, so we'll see if everything straightens out.
There you go. SD Mountain Man's out there, got ribs on the smoker. Nice. I know a couple other people were smoking today too.
Hopefully it didn't mess your scope up, especially depending on how you torqued it down. That would suck because, it's probably unlikely that this Chinese company is going to compensate you if it does because, Lord knows companies here are refusing to do that now sometimes.
Yeah. The good thing is the scope's got a good warranty on it, so maybe they'll take it back if it did. If not, I am in trouble.
Yeah, typically with ring manufacturers, it's hard to prove that there was the rings, and they're gonna utilize that to their advantage unless you actually have video of you installing them correctly, video of them going bad on you. Yeah, it's tough to prove that one.
Yeah. Only way I know to check.
For the record,
What kind of glass do you have for that anyway?
Do what now?
What kind of glass do you have for that anyway?
Oh, it's D&T Optics, the one scope. I forgot the specs on it. Jamie can tell you. He knows more about it than I do.
It's a good scope. It's to me, it's like the Arkin's, only maybe half a step higher up the ladder. Arkins are good scopes, and I'll just tell you the D&T Optics, the one scope, that scope blows my Arkin SH4 out of the water. And
Yeah, they said, I was reading an article about it today. They said that actually those guys used to be together. Arkin and D&T used to be, those same guys that own both those companies used to be partners in Arkin, and they left. And
that the one scope they have, that's the only regular rifle scope they have. Everything else is night vision over there.
yeah,
And they do night vision on a budget, or they can do night vision as much as you want to pay for it. So,
yeah, they were saying that in that article. They were saying that the exact same scope Arkin has with the same specs, but Arkin didn't opt for the quality of glass and prism that was in the D&T, the one. That they chose the higher grade Japanese glass and the higher internal parts. And they said you can look at the two scopes sitting side by side and they're practically identical.
yeah, but when you put them on a rifle and look through them, you can tell a difference.
Yeah, when it comes to glass, you'll see the difference big time. You know, any time I was selling scopes to anybody or binoculars or anything along those lines, I'd get them to pick out 3 and I'd take them outside the store. Because you ain't gonna see the difference inside. You got to go outside to see the difference.
Yeah.
And then I'd walk them through all the technical shit, get in real deep into the technical shit with all the different coatings and what the glass is and all of that shit. And, you know,
I got a question for you.
make their head hurt.
Night vision, obviously, you know, there's some pros of that, obviously. But do you think the cost of night vision is artificially inflated to keep it out of more hands? I mean, I know for a while there, you know, certain things couldn't really be for the public and whatnot, and I'm sure it's probably like that today with more advanced models. But and then with some, even the older models now, you're not supposed to sell them out of the States or anything like that. So, do you think it's kind of like a regulation, or do you think the technology really justifies the price?
So what I'll tell you is you got to remember that the biggest consumer for night vision is the military.
Yeah,
And so the
military.
military pretty much almost kind of dictates how the market stands as far as the higher end stuff goes. Your low end stuff is just super basic, and typically you're going to be in that, you know, the cheaper ones you're going to be around $300 or whatever, but you're not going to have any kind of scope at that price. You're going to be more on the lines of a handheld kind of device, but you're not going to have any real clarity.
yeah, like a monocular or
grainy
something.
and all that kind of shit. So, if you want super clear and all the rest of it, yeah, you're going to pay some money for it.
Yeah, it's just something I've been wondering. You know what I mean? Does it really cost that much to produce that, or are they keeping the prices jacked to keep it out of the average person's hand?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both because again, you're the biggest consumer is the military, so there is some stuff out there that has exclusive patents and stuff that's used just for a lot of their stuff. And then there are ones that are close to what they have, and so the prices are jacked up on that because of that. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play with that technology.
You can pick up some of the older night vision military stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, from iteration to iteration, there's a lot of technology that probably, well, you can tell, you know, that the government really lost its crap when they found out when Biden left everything over there. Then all of
Yeah,
a sudden,
I
Alabama.
lost my crap about that too. So.
Now there are some cheaper ones out there right now that aren't bad. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. But there was one that was around $500, I believe. That's semi decent. You know, if you're just looking for something for basic hunting, you know, not super clarity, but decent clarity.
Yeah. Now I know they had like PBS 2s, which are definitely old, but they were what I think you can get those for what I think it was 1,200 last I seen, or it might have been 16. But the batteries tend to be the issue. And obviously there's some disadvantages of those versus more modern models, but at the same time, the newer they are, the more you're jumping into another price bracket. So, but
And the other part,
maybe there is stuff for $500. I've got some lower end stuff myself, which it works, but it's not like I've had used in the past or anything like that. So it's not
right?
comparable. So And batteries are totally different. I mean, these are like regular batteries, so it's different. But
the one thing with batteries that I would mention is a lot of the guys, especially if they're going to be out there for a while, is they'll have some kind of battery pack that'll plug into, like a backup pack.
Yep.
Because it will drain those batteries really fast.
Yeah, I'm all about night vision or thermals if you can afford it. So there's, if you've ever seen it, you'll understand it. So, not that it was like a cure all, but I mean, I've literally seen footprints with thermals. Like, it's just picking up stuff you're not really getting. So, in the right situation, I think that they could definitely be as what they refer to as a force multiplier or whatnot. But it's big investments for people on a just in case type thing. So
Right. I will say though, in the last probably 3-4 years, I've seen some newer stuff come out, and the prices have been coming down a bit. So it's there. It's starting to come down some. But the thing of it is you're always going to pay for that better technology. Number one, because there's different tiers of night vision as well. So you got to bear that in mind. There are different tiers of it. Your lower tier is the one that's going to be super, super grainy. You're not going to have a good, clear picture of anything. You're probably not going to have a fantastic reticle in it either.
Careful of bright lights with some of them.
Right. You hit a light with it, you're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a lot of flare in there. And typically the cheaper ones can only be used at night and cannot be used during the day. And then you can get into some that can be used in both. But yeah, that's when you're starting to hit that good price point where you're spending a good bit of cash at that point. But as the technology goes up, the price goes up.
Yeah, I'm hoping, almost like how it worked out with like CD players or VCRs, that eventually it drops down enough to where good quality, may not be top tier, but as far as usable quality stuff, you could get at a reasonable price. So
Yeah, no, like I said, the last few years, I've seen it. I've seen some of the mid tier ones coming down in price. So it's there. You just gotta look for the sales and hope you have the money when you see that sale. I've seen a few over the last probably the last 6 months. I've had various emails and stuff about some of them, and some of them are pretty nice. I ain't got the money for it.
yeah, I like a lot of them. I just don't have the money for it. Exactly. Yeah. Well, you can't really justify spending that kind of money. Or in some cases, I might just not have the money, I guess, too. So, yeah.
Right. But no, that was a good question, man. Good question. No, it's there's a lot of factors that come into play with that for sure.
If anybody out there has got a cousin that works somewhere that, gets good deals at things that fall off the truck, let me know. Let me know.
I think that goes across the board for any one of us on the panel here. Yeah.
Get hard up, need bail money. The wife took everything. We can help you out. Just let us know what you're working with.
Alan, you shot anything with night vision?
Me? No.
No, I was asking Alan.
Not. No, not really. I have experience dealing with a set of goggles, essentially. Um, it's been quite a while. I know there's been massive advances and all that since I was playing with them. Um, so yeah, it's something that I've been kind of looking at over the past number of months. Um, because it'd be nice to have a nice set of MVGs. But yeah, price wise is what really kind of ends up getting your goat. Yeah, I think they're probably ridiculously overinflated. Um, some of the some of the civilian scopes and things that just the scope is a night vision scope. Um, I'd much rather be able to use my head than point my weapon all the time. Um, so I've kind of steered away from that. Um, Yet um, a number of months ago, a gentleman brought a rifle to me that he wanted me to look at. He was having some gassing issues, and he uses it predominantly for coyotes. Um, and so he had a night vision scope on it. Um, and it was nice, but um, yeah, for the money, I'd rather continue to save up and get a set of nods.
Yep, makes sense. You don't always want to be swinging your weapon around if you don't have to.
I think, talking about price of stuff and being kind of a barrier or something that holds you back. I kind of feel that way on soft body armor. I don't know if you guys are into that. Like, it's not required for employment. At this, I don't need it for work, so I'm not buying it for it to go bad like every 6 years, 7 years, they say. I mean, not saying it's bad, but supposedly the glues degrade. Some of the older ones, now they have actual, I'm aware they have different products now, but for the longest there, it was like, anything you buy Kevlar related had a shelf life. So if you're not actually using it or making money with it or something, kind of led me towards going the heavier route, which was close to the ceramic shit I used to have to carry anyway. So, although I would like lighter, but you know what I mean? But do you guys consider that when you're thinking of soft armor, or do you not even worry about soft armor? Or
I've never really considered the soft armor aspect, but that same concept, um, it gets painful with first aid and medical supplies, because those have shelf lives as well. And so, yeah, yeah, okay, I've got a number of different medical kits, and to change those things out on a regular basis can add up as well. But yeah, having those expiration dates, man, sometimes that just blows.
Yep, I'm the same way. I got a couple of different medical kits. A small one that goes with me on the range, and one that'll stay in the truck at all times. It's a bigger kit, in case there's bigger injuries. And yeah, I can attest to that. It can get expensive when you got to switch stuff out every 6 months or a year, depending on what it is. Some are even less than that, just depending on what you carry, and your kit. But yeah, it can get up there.
And that always gets me. How in the world is gauze and bandages going to go bad?
yeah, those technically don't, but the wrappers do. The glue on the wrappers usually will just, you'll pick it up and it'll turn almost to dust, and you'll be holding the gauze and two pieces of paper, so all separate in your hand, kind of like I've got to replace the kit in my truck that's required for insurance purposes. But it's the same type of thing, or a Band-Aid, you'll go to pull it out and like it's almost like the paper and glue like just falls apart. Band-Aid will drop on the ground or something. But yeah, burn cream, there'll be an expiration date, all types of crap like that you wouldn't think of. That Neosporin, all that little stuff you get in those kits, all that shit usually has a date right in a crimp down on there. And it's funny he said that because I was just bitching about that earlier today. The lady had something in the eye, so I told her to check the kit to see if there was a flush out thing because I got a bigger kit there. And basically, I was like, hopefully it wouldn't be expired. I wouldn't think it would matter, but I don't know, and we got talking about it. So, yeah, a lot of this stuff, if you're going to stay up on it, I mean, it costs money to cycle through. With soft armor, I know there's been improvements and you can pick up different styles now, besides just Kevlar, but I know some are kind of a mix too, but just something to think about. I don't know. A lot of stuff does have a shelf life.
Yeah, I got soft armor and I've got ceramic as well. Soft armor I got here a couple months back. Saw it on sale and just jumped on it because at that price it was you're not going to beat it. So I jumped on it at the time.
Nice.
And it fits pretty good. It's not too bad, not too heavy or anything like that. Good and lightweight. So there's options out there. But yeah, like you said, you gotta pay attention to that because some of that stuff does have a shelf life too.
Well, I'll tell you, like all of my Israeli bandages, my triangular bandages, my 4x4s, 2x2s, 6x6 gauzes. I buy those in the big bulk bags, bulk tubes like you'd see at your doctor's office. And they are, they're sterile, but I immediately take them and I vacuum pack them. One, because it shrinks them down to where they go in my kit, easier.
Nice.
And that way you don't ever have to worry about them.
That's probably a better and cheaper way to do it. Depending on what type of kit you're doing too. Because if you're doing one of gunshot or I'm trying to get I'm having a brain fart. Some type of puncture wound or whatever. I mean, gauze is pretty much your best friend with that. So obviously, it's screwing around trying to open 5 little packages up. It's just pain in the ass, waste of time, and you're still not getting the distance you'd get off a roll or something. So
I'd rather rip and have a stack of them.
Yeah, definitely.
If I've got to deal with it, and I've got my, I do have my chest seals. That's something that may need to be replaced. But the way I look at it is, hell, I can buy a roll of duct tape to suffice for that.
Yeah, I've heard of people using cellophane off a cigarette pack, Ziploc bag. I mean, in an emergency, obviously it's not ideal, but yeah. Do you carry like Quick Clot by any chance? I got some, although I know it's one of them things that's debatable, but I was going to point out that if people aren't aware, you want to make sure people aren't allergic to shellfish. Some of it's okay, some they're not, but you don't want to put that on somebody with a shellfish allergy. So.
Well, there's one issue there that if they're in so much pain or they're passing out and they can't tell you what they got an allergy to, you just gotta have to take the risk.
Yeah, and in some states they're gonna sue your ass off if you live. So, seriously, sometimes it's like I say, you can't. No good deed goes unpunished. You know what I mean? That's like, resuscitating somebody that's got a DNR bracelet on, like that. That could turn out to be a problem for you.
We've seen it many times over the years in the States where people have been sued for saving someone's life.
It's a damn shame.
Well, the only thing you're covered in is, I don't know what condition you would be in if somebody had a do not resuscitate bracelet on and you didn't know it. You didn't see it.
Yeah, I think if you didn't know it was covered up, probably, depending on state, I would think you're probably okay. I don't know, but it's sad that you got to stop and think about that, though. That's just the whole point, Like,
yeah. And if you've got a active CPR card, you're covered under the AMA, so you're covered with that. They're going to handle the legal aspects of it. That's why it's always good to keep your CPR card up to date.
Well, you got to be careful there too, because one thing that they typically do require is that you are checking the wrists, make sure they're not diabetic or anything along those lines. So if you're not checking the wrist and something happens, they may not cover you because you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Well, that's never been that never was in my CPR classes.
Yeah, they want you to check and make sure, see if they got, if they're diabetic or anything along those lines, if they got anything on the wrists, or even some are even some nowadays are all ankle bracelet stuff too. So you gotta kind of check both, make sure there's nothing there.
It's sad, but in some of these states, believe it or not, they will sue you for saving their damn life. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. Or you broke a couple ribs, so now they're coming after you for insurance.
You gotta be careful, man. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know how many of you all have done the Heimlich maneuver before, but I've done it before, and I saved someone's life. But I did break 3 ribs. It wasn't intentional. Trying to save the guy's life. But broke 3 ribs.
And the older a person is, the more likely you are, when it comes to like seniors and stuff like that. That's where it really gets gamey. So.
Right.
Like Hobby Hope, make them sign a waiver before you save their life.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Just sign this. Make your mark, please.
When that person's choking, for example, you got to try and figure out how much pressure to use, make sure you're in the right spot. But if it's not coming out, then you got to keep adding more pressure. And so, you run the risk of breaking shit.
Hey, if they slide down in your arms when you're doing the Heimlich maneuver, you can bust that bottom rib with no problem at all. That's not tough to do. People don't think people think it's harder to do than it is, but if they slide down in your arms and you're using your full weight to get that upward thrust, you can pop that rib loose from the sternum.
Yeah, that doesn't take a whole lot, man.
No, it doesn't.
You think TV for that, where people are fighting with, thick ass 1.5-inch chains and baseball bats, and people are going 12 rounds and busting concrete and all types of shit. Real life people are brittle.
You can thank the wrestling organizations and all that bullshit on the TV, man. People getting smacked with chairs, standing right back up. Come on, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, if somebody cracks you over the skull with a metal folding chair, you're probably going down.
Probably a 2x4 baseball bat clubs. There's people. You can't beat out of like pinatas and not expect things to end up broken.
Yeah.
I hope you all ain't going after my soap operas.
Oh gosh, your soaps! Don't get me started on soaps. Destroyed so many marriages. You got all these girls thinking life's supposed to be a fairy tale and it's always supposed to work out and blah, 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 blah. The damn soaps and Hallmark movies are ruining America. Because life don't work that way.
Hey now, don't be shitting on Alan's dream. Don't be shitting on Alan's dream.
I can solve all their problems right now. Stop sleeping. Yeah, right. Stop sleeping with your friend's wife. fire the asshole at work that's after you. Yeah, say the hell with those friends of yours that are conspiring against you, and all your problems are solved. Those rich people can just be on vacation and enjoy life. Like, they create all their problems in those shows.
Okay, chessboard, you don't have to worry. Now they recommend do not try to remove venom from a snake bite. So you won't have to worry about that. What's in their last comment there.
Talking to soap shows and all that's hilarious because there's some days I'll walk into work and go in the break room and I don't know who the hell turns on the fucking soap operas, but you walk in and that shit's right there, man. It cracks me up because not that I'm watching it, but you hear little bits and pieces as you're sitting there waiting to clock in, and it like a 5 minute segment takes like 4 weeks because they keep jumping back and forth and shit.
Yeah, I've never been much of a soap opera person, so.
That's just like,
I'm not much of a TV person either, so it doesn't matter.
to me, it's
I'm
like
just sitting here watching either Jamie nod off or be very intent in something that he's very focused on.
He's looking something up.
he's looking up his
about
favorite
what
soap
to
opera.
tell y'all.
Trying
First
to
of all,
remove
I think that if somebody needs your help to survive, you should probably just step back 2 steps and watch them die. I mean, y'all are depressing as piss. I'm telling you. Then,
Sorry, man.
Then I think back to when I was a younger man, and my mom used to be a Days of Our Lives fanatic. And
Oh, gosh.
people would say stuff like, in real life situations, that they would be like, we just don't have any hope. And I'm like, hell, there's always hope. Do y'all not watch Days of Our Lives? That heifer's been on there for 35 years and she's not aged a day. I'm telling
Uh,
you. Oh my goodness.
That's
What are
what
we
they say.
coming to? I mean,
In
yeah.
500, if the Earth makes it 500 more years, they say when they dig Nancy Pelosi up, all you're going to find is 2 sacks of silicone and a pair of false dentures.
Yep. You got to remember that, the old timers used to call TV, what was it? Programs or whatever. Everything was a program. And they used to refer to that as, the program. So, at least to my knowledge. So, but I think that says a lot, because in a lot of ways, I think TV's changed our culture, whether it initially started off one way, it used to go off in the middle of the night. They had the bars on the TV. Now it's just a nonstop thing, even the news channels. Like, there isn't that much news. Like, things happen, but, really, but these news, the major ones, they're running 24 hours a day. They got emails, they got posts, go here, go there. I mean, it's just a nonstop. I don't know. It seems, and then, like I said before, where it seems to ruin households and marriages. I mean, go watch the Bundys or something. That's better. It's closer. It's not perfect, but it's closer. But these Days of Our Lives and stuff. I mean, I wish my kids came and said the things that these kids would say or whatever, these TV shows and Hallmark movies. That is not how life goes. At least not that I've ever experienced. I think it gives people a false idea, expectations. They get depressed, go to the doctor, end up on a bunch of pills, ruin their lives, get divorced, and because Romeo didn't show up or whatever the case is, you know. And now it's transferred into that with the online, the TikToks, all this shit where everybody looks one way, but really most of them are broke, you know. But everybody's got to look like, you know, they're the star. Maybe I'm rambling now. Sorry, sorry,
Well,
Jamie. I didn't mean to have a depressing day, man. I don't want to ruin it. Sorry.
now that Rob's brought the whole entire chat down, Jamie, you want to bring it back up?
Yes, I will. At least I'll try. I've got some beautifully clean brass over here that I cleaned today. It's in 6.5 Creedmoor and the world's finest cartridge, the 270 Winchester. And I can't wait to get that cleaned. I also have a bag of 100 pieces of Starline brass and 6.5 Creedmoor that's got to start getting processed. So let me ask y'all this. For long range shooting, which some of y'all do, some of you don't, but long range, when you get you get brand new brass like that, what all you do to it before you start shooting it? Do you just full length size it and load it and shoot it, or do you do more, or what's the game plan?
I rub it with a little bit of Brasso so it's shiny first.
No, you
No,
don't.
not at all.
Balds out there.
What do y'all think about these guys that say after you through reloading, throw your reloaded rounds in your vibratory with corncob and polish? That doesn't seem like it's very bright to me.
No, that's insane, man. I want to go back to something Rob said here, if I may be so bold. You said that TV stations actually went off the air at a certain time every night. Do you know what happened when they went off the air? Right before they went off the air, what did they do?
They had the Air Force guy saying the thing about slipping back the canopy, reaching out and touching the face of God.
I believe they sing the national anthem as well. Jets flying over, flag, and then it would end up beep, and then you just get a bunch of colored bars on your TV. So, yeah.
That's what I remember. And they also played the national anthem in the morning before they started programming. So, and when I was a kid in grade school, we actually said the Pledge of Allegiance and the Lord's Prayer every morning before we started school. But I guess we've gotten away from God and patriotism nowadays. But anyway, I have a process I go through with new brass. So I was wondering if I'm just overkill or maybe not.
You're probably not overkill. I mean, especially you got to think about when you're doing long range, it's all about precise and accuracy. So there's not really any overkill if you're going to be taking the time and doing it the way you want to do it to make sure you're getting the results you want. I personally haven't really had a whole lot of new brass. It's usually anytime I've gotten new brass, it's going to be from having factory rounds, so they've already been shot at least once. I do think I have one box of brand new brass that someone sent me, but I haven't got to mess with it yet.
Well, half white.
My plan for this is I want to anneal it. I'll probably size it first, then anneal it. Well, I'll anneal it first, then clean it. Then see, this is the thing when you have to lube it to size it, and so I want to anneal it, then lube it and size it, and then clean it to get the lube off of it. At that point, I'll trim it, get that burr out of the inside of the primer hole, and then it'll be ready for primer, powder, and bullets. There you go, hobbies.
So Rob, you remember, the various broadcasts and stuff shutting off and all that. Do you remember the old TVs where the buttons were these huge buttons that you had to slam in to get it to change channel?
Yeah, yeah. Those the remotes that were like I don't know, 2 inches thick, probably 6 inches tall and 6 inches wide. And there was the obviously tuner TVs where you would actually go up and turn the knob. Yeah, I remember a lot of that. So my dad was actually, he did repairs on electronics. So my house was filled with stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember the little black and white TV I had back in the day. You had to slam the freaking buttons and it had the rabbit ears and all kinds of shit on it. Yeah, man. I remember we also had the antenna that went on the roof, and you'd have to go out and climb up there to adjust it and shit if you started losing signal.
Yep.
One person in the room, one person on the roof.
Yep. Usually the kids were out there in a storm, and something be on TV and everybody's yelling which way to turn it or this or that. Hold it right there. Nowadays, you end up in jail for child abuse or something nowadays. Yeah.
As soon as the program's over, you can come inside.
Yep. People wrapping tin foil on the antenna to extend it a bit, all that type of stuff. Bless you, Jamie.
Oh, thank you.
I know you used to be able to. I used to get a lot of radio stations that weren't current because I hooked the actual cable up to my stereo system and ran that basically like an antenna, and picked up all types of different stations that weren't local. It's pretty cool. Some of that older stuff, but
how many of y'all back in the day could get Wolfman Jack out of Chicago after all the AM radio stations went dead? Y'all don't remember Wolfman Jack?
I've heard the name, but I don't know, and I don't know if that's something I would have been listening to at that time. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, it's not something I could get back home.
Okay. American Graffiti. Y'all remember American Graffiti? The movie?
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
The guy on the radio on American Graffiti. Remember that everybody was riding around. The drive-in had the same radio station. Everybody driving around in their cars were playing the same radio station. The disc jockey was Wolfman Jack. Y'all gotta be kidding me. Am I that old?
I used to watch Burt Sugarman's Midnight Special, and Wolfman Jack hosted that. Nobody else ever watched the Midnight Special?
Hobie's out there with you, man. He's got your back, Jamie.
Do what, man?
Said Hobo's out there. He's got your back.
All right, here we go.
I remember Art Bell.
Edward remembers too. There's Edward.
How about this, Jamie? Do you remember Carrot Top?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Watermelons with these big sledgehammers and stuff.
I don't know. I think that was Gallagher. I think.
Yeah, it
Or,
was Gallagher, but I
think so,
remember
yeah.
Carrot Top. He was very similar. That's Wolfman
But
Jack.
Weird Al Yankovic.
What was that band? There was a song, "Clap for the Wolfman," and he did a cameo on that recording. But yeah, I can't believe y'all don't remember Wolfman Jack.
God, I do.
No, I mean it sounds familiar to me, but I don't know. I've never really. I might only know it from the movie, but I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Because I couldn't get those stations back home or anything like that, man.
Well, obviously it was FM radio right as FM was starting to take off.
I remember when Howard Stern was on radio.
There he is on American Graffiti. He actually had a part in American Graffiti. He was on camera.
Yeah.
Wolfman Jack's first show on 66 WNBC New York, August the 6th, 1973. They got the whole dang show recorded. 5 hours, 6 minutes, and 54 seconds.
Dang.
Wolfman fooled us all. Yeah, guys, my childhood's coming out. I'm fixing to have to go put this dog out. I'll be right back, man. Yes, the Guess Who chessboard. There you go. The Guess Who was bad, man. They had some great songs. Anyway,
Solid
Solid Gold Dancers. I remember them too, man.
Well, that was J-Lo was one of them, wasn't she? No, that was before her.
Yeah, that was way before she was.
J-Lo was on the thing that the Wayans had.
Kyle Lusk, you don't know that we are all Gentiles. Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss called him, and I think they snuck into the studio, which was how he got on camera. All right, be right back, y'all. Excuse me for a second.
Well, my Friday was slightly interesting. So we had a team building exercise for my work, and one of the most one of the people in the team actually suggested for a team building exercise that we go shooting. And so we ended up going up to an indoor range, and went and had Mexican first, went up to an indoor range, and went shooting for the later part of the afternoon. It was actually very, very, very entertaining. We did ended up renting a couple other pistols. I brought a suitcase. They were kind of amazed that I had 6 pistols in one little suitcase, but it is what it is. But it was excellent to be on the clock and shooting at the same time.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Definitely a win.
When you said team building exercise, I'm like, oh, where's this going?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
contemplated doing a number of things before, escape rooms and things like that. Just, going out and doing something entertaining as a team. Um, and it's, yeah, okay, it's a little bit more individual, but to have our whole team out there at the range, it was a good time. Everybody went to the bar afterwards, and they all had a few drinks, and yeah, it was very good, very well done. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
That's awesome, man. That's always a good way to end the week right there.
You imagine getting stuck in an escape room with like that one employee you hate, yeah, or coworker or something, or even worse, you're stuck in there with the girl that likes to make reports about everybody. You know what I mean? You imagine
Why?
that? Like I'd be
I,
like,
I
oh
got a,
hell no, just fire me now. I ain't going in there. Like
I got a question for you. Why are you just trying to bring everything down, man? Like
I don't know.
you,
I
you
just I try to look
every
at
other conversation coming out is just I'm just gonna bring this all the way down. You know.
I try to look at
Well,
both sides of everything. That's all. Yeah.
he did
Sorry.
remind me of something that did happen recently. A gal joined the company, and like every morning for a week, this guy would walk up to her at the coffee machine, get real close to her, and take a big whiff and go, "Man, your hair smells great." And after about a
Work
week of
with
this,
Biden?
I got real tired of it. She ended up going up to HR and telling HR about it. HR was like, "Yeah, he says your hair smells great. What's the problem?" He goes, "Well, it's Jimmy the midget."
Oh shit.
Uh,
Maybe she needs a longer skirt.
yeah, Kyle, I agree. Rob needs more meat in his diet. I agree.
I'm not gonna comment on that one.
I just ate 2 burgers, man. Just
Oh,
ate 2 burgers. Working on my salad now, but I did eat 2 burgers. So
All right. With that being said, we're about halfway through. Alan, you want to go through the side chat, and I will be right back.
oh yeah. According to the YouTube tally, which has proven me bad lately, Chessboard 1968, Edward Petty 5401, Hobbies Hobo, Kyle GD5HL. Well, hello, Kyle. Kyle Lusk 8994. Everybody's got numbers on their names, including Ozzy Osbourne 7972. Thor's Axe 5881, TJ Fishin 2714, Vanessa Kitty 8867. I have no idea what the heck is going on with this number thing. Is that just a YouTube thing or what? Everybody putting numbers on their names. Is this something I don't know about?
In honor of Iraq veteran, 8888.
YouTube just added numbers in my name like a year or two ago. So I don't know. It might be a YouTube thing.
Yeah, when they went to that system where you could look up your friends with their handle there, they gave everybody those numbers, and my handle was already JH586, so they just threw a 9 on the end of mine. I think you can get it changed if you're willing to go through the steps.
Well, I have notoriously changed my name before in the past, but I never noticed it adding numbers to my name. TJ Fishing with, in case there's more than one of you out there. Yeah, okay, well, can understand that.
Yeah, I figured it would be fairly easy. I'm gonna do something with mine because I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the added numbers either, but I've just didn't notice it right away, and now it's been forever, and I don't know. Maybe I should try to do something, but I don't know.
Well, Hobby's Hobo don't have numbers after his.
Yeah, and if you notice, I don't have numbers after mine. I don't know if it's when you originally created your name, it just automatically threw numbers on there or not. I've changed my name a couple of times, as some people know.
Yeah, well, I'll go to the studio and try to fix it. Hobbies. Thanks for that. Reminds you of a Bob Seger song. I'm not a number.
Well, I figured, Jamie, with your 586, you were just showing the year you were born.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedians out of work, Alan. I know, Garage Guy. That's different, man. Garage Guy says the 879 is part of his channel name. And he's been on here a long time. Even longer than me, being born in the year 586. What I need to know now, Alan, is that AD or BC?
Oh,
Don't
well.
answer that. It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, so that makes you wonder. Channels like Iraq Veteran 8888, he wanted just Iraq Veteran, and YouTube added that. YouTube does a lot of things that us YouTubers don't like or don't want, never asked for.
I know, but the 8888 thing means something.
Yeah, he chose that.
Yeah, that one was chosen. I was just jostling there.
Yeah, he's got a whole video about how he came up with the name.
It's a spiritual thing.
Anybody in the chat familiar with the periodic table? Because for some oddball reason, the teenagers now just keep repeating 6 7 6 7. I have no idea what it's about.
I hadn't hung around with enough of them to have heard that.
You're dang lucky then, I'd say, sir.
They lose my interest pretty quick.
So the 8888 significance in relation to its biblical meaning highlights its connection to themes of new life and resurrection as represented by the number 8. Signifies that manifesting abundance and success are on the horizon in one's life, encouraging you to trust in divine guidance. So, yeah, there's a meaning to that.
Yeah, in my little excursion for work there, It was honestly the first time I've shot a staccato. I got to shoot a staccato P, and for what they ask for for any of them staccatos, I can understand they're a high end pistol, but man, that was nice. That was real nice. I can't say that I'm a little tempted to be looking into a staccato now.
You buy a nice used car for what you can buy a staccato for.
See, I wasn't gonna say anything because I always get blamed for dragging things down. But yeah, the
Yeah,
price
man.
of it, and then the break-in process, you know. But you do drive a Beamer, so I don't know. Maybe you like pain.
All that means is I don't have enough money to buy anything else. But yeah, them BMW parts, they'll get you by the goo-goo. But man, yeah, of course, this was a range rental, so it was likely very well used, very well broke in. Um, but man, that thing was just absolutely smooth.
I don't know, but I've heard with some of these guns, I believe staccato is mentioned in this group of firearms. You know, higher end firearms that are out of my taste, but basically, a lot of them are requiring quite a break in. Like, you know, sometimes you would hear 100 rounds, sometimes you'd hear three, some would say five, and I don't know. I guess, everybody knows I'm a cheap bastard, but that's in some cases it's a bit of money depending on what caliber you're going with and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, something to account for when you're getting it. I mean, personally, me, when I buy something, I expect it to work. I don't want to have to play with it, but unless I got a hell of a deal, But those guns, they want a lot of money, and the tolerances are so tight. Like, a piece of dirt looks at it and they want to jam up. So I don't know. Yeah, in some cases, again, they're I don't have hands on. I may have had hands on a couple here or there, nicer higher end, but it's not my cup of tea. But whew, I'm sure it shoots nice. It's like a Shadow too. That's one that I would consider buying. But again, that's pricey. Definitely pricey.
Yeah, well,
Well,
staccatos are 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Some of these, those 1911s and whatnot, they get up there.
Yeah, they can get pretty pricey.
2011, whatever.
They can get pretty pricey for sure. Someone was asking, Battle Beam was asking me yesterday about the 2011s, and are they reliable? And I can tell you, of all the ones that I've shot, and I've shot a few different ones over the years, every single one of them had some kind of malfunction. Are they worth the money? I don't think so. Are they somewhat cool? Yeah, they're somewhat cool, but are they worth what they cost? No, definitely not.
Yeah, I guess we all buy guns for different reasons. Some's just a cool factor thing, or because you really like it. Some could be seen as a tool. Some is a collector, or we all have our reasons, I guess. So to me, that's some of those cost of those. I mean, shit, that's like a second vehicle. So like, I'm not spending that much money.
No, I've got a friend got a Nighthawk Custom, and I think he said it was a little over $6,000. I say, what plane are you?
yeah, you're in the realm of Lago Alien at that point, and I mean, Yeah, it's a kind of a specialty niche firearm, and it's completely designed unlike a lot of things. But um, yeah, not one that you would want to get holster wear on, I would suspect.
No.
Man, that's nothing to what some of these trap guys pay for their over under shotguns.
Oh my God.
Oh man, yeah, they can get up there. I've, it's crazy to think about it, but I've sold some shotguns over the years that were 10, 12, 14,000 dollars,
Keep
and,
going.
and they
Commission
they
on
walk
that?
in and they walk in and they buy them and they don't even blink.
Well, they're wealthy to begin with. They just think that buying that $30,000 shotgun's going to make them better than everybody on the course.
Probably.
I
Or the
think it's
people they hang out with all got
11.
$30,000 shotguns, so they don't want to be the odd one out.
Oh, but it's awful fun to spank one of them's butt with a $200 Remington 1100.
Yeah, punching up's always nice when you kick some ass with something considered lower quality. So I won a lot of races on a little worked out blaster that everybody laughed at, called the Tin Can, till I blew right the hell by their ass.
Yeah, there's a guy that shoots at the trap and skeet range right here by my house. And he came over and he started saying, and I'd shot a whole box of shells and not missed one clay at all. And he comes over and he goes, "Hey, you're leading it a little bit like this." And I'm like, "Okay, I didn't ask you for your help, but I didn't say that. I was nice to him." He goes over and he raises the lid on his what was it? His Range Rover, whatever the one is made in England, Land Rover, and pulls out. He's got a pull out on it. He pulls out the drawers and opens the door up on it, and he's got a match set of over and unders, 410 and 12 gauge. And I said, if you don't mind me asking, what did those two guns cost? He said, it's one of those things, if you have to ask, you don't want to know. And I said, no, I do want to know. He said, it costs more than the truck. I'm like, okay. Nah, he was good. He was good, but I spanked his butt.
Oh yeah, some of these guys will spend an absolute fortune, man. Some of it'll be more than the house payment, more than the house. They'll drop shit tons of money on these things. Don't get me
I
wrong. I mean,
won.
they're good looking guns, but I could never drop that kind of money.
No, it was, I mean, you're right. They were beautiful, but no.
And in one way, it could be seen as an investment that the guy actually uses. Because when you get to a certain level, I mean, you're still getting some good money out of it, and in some cases, even more money years later. So, almost like how people will use property in a sense. It's just kind of holding funds or wealth in a sense, they say. So, although at the same time, you're paying taxes to the government for it. So I don't know if it really works out, but I guess if you're big enough, you get enough breaks, whatever. But, it kind of, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is when you're dealing with that kind of money, a decent investment. Somewhere to store money where the government's not taxing you on it, if that makes sense. Because I know people that, at least from my understanding, people that deal with large sums of money are very concerned about taxes. They don't want their money getting bled away from them. So that's why, in real estate, a lot of places well, I don't want to ramble on, but anyway, long story short, a lot of times people just own stuff to take money, other investments out on it, or to park money, basically. So in that sense, there might be some practicalness to it.
Yep, $14,000 skeet over under. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
those,
one that I had in the store that I sold was Krieghoff, and Krieghoffs can get ridiculous money.
I don't even know what kind this guys were. I know they were. He was fitted for the guns.
Yep, that's a lot of times when these guys really get into it. That's exactly what happens. They'll get fitted for where they want the cheek to be, the length, the pull, everything.
When he told me he had to go for a fitting before they made the gun, I was like, okay. I don't need to know anymore now. I know all I need to know.
Kind of makes sense though. I mean, even for us, we may switch a stock around or shorten it up or lengthen it, add a pad or a riser. We customize it, but I guess a lot cheaper than they customize it. So they sound like they're at the Olympic level where each platform's designed around them. You know what I mean? So, but
Oh, it's
yeah,
just like if you really get into golf, then you'll go have your clubs fitted for you.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
can you get
pros are
away?
doing them.
Can you get away playing with a generic set of clubs? Yeah, you can get away playing with a generic set of clubs. But the thing of it is if you really get into it, you're better off having them fitted because a lot of times a standard set of clubs are going to be too short, or they may
Hmm.
be too long, depending on who you are. Like for me, their standard set of clubs is too short. Have I ever gone and had a set fitted? No, I don't really want to dump the money into that.
Hmm.
I don't really play enough to justify dumping all that money into it. Um,
The
you know,
raw material that would have to be expended to get a length of club that would work for your no, no, that I mean, you're gonna
hey
So
fellas, I'm gonna have to bug out. My boys are here, and I got to go visit with them. But I appreciate y'all letting me hang out with y'all, and y'all have a good week.
Too,
take
Jamie.
care.
I always appreciate you, Jamie. Take it easy, brother.
Thank you, man. See y'all.
Yep, take it easy, man. Yeah, I'd say archery isn't very uncommon for people to be, you got to get your arrows cut, bow strength, bow size, or draw strength, draw weight, whatever, however they want to term it. But that's not very uncommon. Or say skiing, if you're going to be into skiing, you get skis that are basically for you, your size in
Oh
a
yeah,
sense.
no,
A
you
lot
can
of
dump a ton of money into bows, man. I've got quite a few $1,000s in bows.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I guess it doesn't it you know, to us regular people getting a shotgun size probably sounds abnormal, but I guess to others that are really in it is probably a typical thing. So,
Yeah, the only hard part is if they try to resell it. That's where it gets hard because like when the
mhm.
guy came in to sell me that one, that Krieghoff, and then I had to resell it. I got to think about how long is it going to take to find a customer that it potentially is going to fit because now it's been modified. It's not stock,
Yeah, and that's a
and
lot harder. It's not like you can just add more wood to it or something. You know what I
right,
mean? So,
exactly. So now I've got to wait for that particular customer. Number one, that is going to fit, and number two, that's got the money to pay for it. I forget how much the guy wanted me to pay him, and I basically just broke it down for him. Like, dude, I don't know how long this thing's going to sit here. It's a little bit of an older model, and you got it all customized out for your length and all the rest of it. So, you know, 10 is going to be my max offer, and he ended up taking it. But yeah, it's tough to sell that kind of stuff, man, because it's once you've modified it to length of pull and cheek rise and all the rest of it, now you're very very specific.
bullshit, man. When you sold that gun to him, it was the best model out there. To hell with the new one. You want this older one, and this is gonna be perfect. And da 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 da. Then the guy brings it back, and you're like, "Oh, this dusty thing." You son of a bitch, sales counter worker. You people drive me nuts.
You know the funny thing is I drove corporate nuts. Corporate would always freaking call me, man. I get calls every fucking week. Why did you spend this much money on this? Why did you spend this much money on that? It's like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking shortchange the customer. Like, as long as if I offer them a decent amount and I can still flip it and get some money off of it, they're gonna keep coming back and sell me more shit.
That's true.
If I shortchange them, they're never gonna want to come here again, and they're gonna go tell 10 people don't go there because he's shortchanging people.
That's very true too. That's when you get somebody like me. It's like you might as well be a crackhead to trade a gun in at these local shops. Just keep the gun, save a few extra $100, whatever it may be, and buy another one, because unless you sell it private sale, they're treating you like a damn crackhead down there. You can sell it today, walk out, go back in later tonight, and it's going to be on that counter for at least 150 more than they gave you.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least. So it's like, God damn it.
Don't get me wrong. I've had to be an asshole to some people here and there, but you know, I had one guy come in before with a Mossberg 500 with a blue camo paint job. And because it had a blue camo paint job, he thought it was worth like $600.
That's funny. I know what I got, man. No low balling.
And I'm like, dude, I can give you $50.
Oh, I bet he wanted to drag you out to the parking lot, huh?
Oh, dude, he was fucking losing his shit. And I'm like, dude, I can sell it for $100. That's it. And not if anyone even fucking wants it. It's a custom camo blue paint job, and it's not even done well.
Well, yeah, I made one of my biggest mistakes with my Mossberg 500. I paid a shitload of fool's tax, what I like to call fool's tax. So, you know, the store I was going to, you know, they had a nice one there. It was loaded. It was, you know, not loaded technically, but it, you know, it had all the bells and whistles I was looking for. Fit all the boxes. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. And I think I paid close to $600 for a goddamn Mossberg 500. Like, do you know they sell those at Walmart for like $300? You know what I mean? So it's like, granted, you know, it's a shorter barrel, 18.5 inch or whatnot, but still. And then the New York Safe Act kicked in a while after that, and I had to change half the damn hardware on it any goddamn way. So not only did I overpay for all that shit, like well
You got more
overpaid.
invested in it.
Yeah, now I got to take it off and buy more shit to put on it. Man, like I should slap myself. But you know, I was dumb, and you know, ooh, I want that one. You know.
Well, and I think we've all kind of done it where we've modified something, and then we go, oh, I don't like that, and then modify it again, and then go, I don't like that, and then modify it again. I've changed at least a couple rifles more than once, and because I wasn't happy with the stock that I'd got, you know, the grip that I got, you name it, man. I've dumped money into stuff left, right, and center, changing stuff over a few times.
Yeah, the stuff we go through sometimes, you know. But yeah, the whole idea is to learn from those damn things. Don't do the same thing next time. Double check, you know. But it's hard because you'll see that gun that you've been wanting finally pop up in your shop, and if you put it off too long and go back a week later, it might not be there. So you really got to stop, get out to the car, do your homework, start doing some research, take your ass back in there, and worry about forgiveness later.
Yep. And
if it's a good deal.
The nice thing is if you can find someone that's got layaway, because then that usually works out better. You know,
I've never bought anything on layaway throughout my whole life, I don't think so.
Well, when I started collecting, that was the best way for me to do it because I wasn't making money. Not that I'm making money now, but I'm a lot further ahead than I was back then when I started
Yeah.
collecting. So layaway was a good way to do it for me.
I don't think it's a bad way of doing it. I won't say that. I just, because it's not like credit or something. Although sometimes I think I've heard they do restocking fees or something. But if you plan on buying it anyway, it's not a bad idea.
There's a restocking fee usually if you don't finish paying it on time. But I always paid mine on time. I didn't play around like that. If I was buying it, I was buying it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. I've never done it. Just, I usually, finish a job, got extra cash or something, and I'll just, buy something before there's an excuse for that money to disappear. So
That's
Right.
just,
usually,
that money's burning a hole in your pocket.
yeah,
No, I bought a ton of stuff doing layaway. That again, starting out collecting, that was a good way for me to do it. And then over the years, I've done things where I've just saved a bunch of money up and walked in with a check and go, here you go, here's a check, and walk out with a bunch of guns. It's there's different ways of doing it, but layaway works out for a lot of people. I know Garage Guy, he's out there, he's done it quite a bit. Just gives you a little bit more time so you don't have to throw out all the cash at once.
yeah, yeah. It kind of makes sense. I know another guy that I know from online uses it. He's got a local shop that he's used for years, so I guess it works out good. He likes it, and I'm sure the shop loves it because it's almost like a drug dealer. He's always in their pocket, and by the time you pick
Well, that's the thing.
something up, he got something else he wants. So
it's a reoccurring swinging door. Reoccurring swinging door. And the only thing I will say is I've never done one online, so I know there are some companies. I think Tombstone Tactical. And a couple other places offer it online. I think Buds does too. I've never done a layaway online, and for multiple reasons. One of the big reasons is if I'm buying something other than new, I want to see it in person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I got hands on it. I want to make sure the condition of it. I want to make sure I'm not overpaying for it.
That's why I've looked at these duty weapons that are coming off, that being traded in, and they say you always see that fine print. We don't go through them to find out if they got blemishes or anything on them like that. I'm like, that means if I can't come up there and pick out the one I want, I'm not interested.
yeah.
Right. Well, the other thing too is doing it online. I don't know for sure that that's a guarantee that I'm going to get it. I've had even where I've done purchases, straight up purchases, where I've got an email or a phone call a couple of days later saying we don't have it in stock, and then getting a refund. Like, I already paid for it, dude. And now you're telling me you don't have it. I don't want to risk that with a layaway. Have that layaway for X amount of time, pay off the layaway, and the gun's not there.
Yeah, somebody offered them a little bit more money and they took it.
Yeah, they probably would too, or prices went up.
Like, well, we can't refund your money. We'll take your store credit.
But yeah, if you can do it at a physical store, you can see what you're buying. Get your hands on it, check everything out. Yeah, layaway is a good way of doing stuff. Just make sure that you read and understand what that company's policy is on their layaway before you walk away and sign the line and all the rest of it. You want to make sure you know exactly what it is. The ones that I used to do were all with 90 days. As long as you were making a payment, at least once a month, you were good.
Yeah,
it works. I would assume it's got to work out in some cases. I know, like for myself, in some, I kind of do a layaway, but I guess you say I do it myself. Like I'll set so much aside, throw it in an envelope or whatever, and then when I got more, I'll throw it in, and then when I got enough, I go down and buy what the hell I'm looking for. And sometimes, maybe a third of the time, I'll end up changing my mind before I even acquire, money I could use towards it. Uh, Whether it's the product isn't exactly what it was supposed to be, or it may not be ideal for what I need, or at this point, I just, I don't feel it's worth that pile of money. So that's one thing I think where it would be helpful to people that use credit all the time, because a lot of this shit you probably really don't need and might not care for by the time you actually even paid it off. So do you really want it, or is it one of them, that's cool, let me buy it things? You know what I mean?
Yep. Battle Beam, what's up, man? Maybe not.
Maybe he just needs introduced, properly. I don't know what's going on there.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sexiest eyebrows on YouTube, Battle Bean. No, that didn't work. I give it a shot.
Yeah. Oh well. Definitely tried.
Can you guys hear me?
There you go.
Man, it's fucking computers pissing me off. What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Good. What's going on, brother? How you, man?
Man, a little under the weather, man. Getting a little worse there, man, but getting through it. Yeah. So how's everybody doing? What you guys
It
talking
can't
about?
be that bad, man. Not where you live. It can't be that bad.
Well, it doesn't help that the wife works where it's fucking 30 degrees all the goddamn time, because she works in a fucking freezer. And she gets out of there and then she goes and gets hot. Fucks her all up. So, it is
And
what
he's
it is.
probably jacking internet from the wrong neighbor.
Hey, man, you need to eat your salad, man. Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I did. Just here in
Yeah,
the hood, we know that you steal the internet and cable from the
eat
white
your
people.
salad. You need to eat your salad because it's
But
very
Battle Beam
important.
would be the guy that would take the neighbor to court for changing the password.
No,
Hey
I'd
man,
be going
I'm suing you because I need the
off
password.
them, and then he'd be going off me.
Oh yeah, hey man, that's community.
Yeah,
That's
we all just chip in.
community internet, bro. Nothing wrong with that shit. Can't get the ghetto out of ghetto, folks.
It's like the old cable hookups with like 30 splitters going on.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all been following the Canadian gun ban?
Yeah. Oh, tell me a little bit about that because I don't understand it. Yesterday when I was doing my chat, one of my I think it was I forgot the guy's name. He was talking about it. I don't know what's going on. Talk
Well,
to me.
supposedly they've outlawed guns, and several of the major provinces, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, New Brunswick,
Mm-hmm.
have said they're not going they're not agreeing with it.
No, because in many of those fucking places, you need to fucking have a gun in order for you to survive that motherfucker.
Well, and the Ontario Provincial Police refused to participate in the gun buyback or doing anything. No residential
And
confiscations, no anything. They said,
yeah,
we're
you
not
got to think about it, man. Like 40% of your fucking people in Canada are rural. Some
yeah,
motherfuckers use a rifle to fucking, put food on the table, man.
or to keep from being something's food.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Especially live out in fucking Saskatchewan and fucking Alberta in the middle of fucking bumfuck Egypt. Hell no. Yeah, you need to have something there, man.
Makes me
So
wonder how many of those. I'm not that good with geography, to be honest with you. I don't know how many of those provinces are bordering the United States.
they're all of them are, bro. But they're all very rural areas, especially Saskatchewan, Alberta. Alberta has basically two fucking major cities, Edmonton and Calgary, and in between all that shit, there's just wilderness upon wilderness, and it's very rural. So yeah, you need to have a fucking gun because in most places, it's a lot of people just just regular folks and shit, man, that live in that area. A lot of them are farmers and shit like that. So ranchers. So yeah, they need a fucking they need to have their guns and shit. So, what the fuck is this guy's worse than Trudeau, man? Fucking Carney guy.
Yeah,
Damn. What
that's
do you think this is? Fucking Australia, bro? They ain't gonna go for that shit.
Garage Guy 879. He's on my path. He's thinking what I'm thinking. I wonder how many of those are going to actually become United States, citizens or
Well,
annex.
and here's my thing. All you're giving is fucking more fuel to the fire because Albertans already want to get the fuck out of Canada. They already want to be part of the United States. Especially when majority they're the ones that pretty much fund most of fucking Canada with all the fucking oil that comes out of that motherfucker. So and the thing about it is that they only get a portion of that shit back. So I can just see that shit getting really fucking gnarly. Because now you're fucking with
Are,
people's guns and shit.
are
Now a lot of
Canadians
Canadians.
allowed to just leave if they want to? Because I know, some countries they got like lotteries for visas, and you can't just leave. But can they in
Uh,
Canada? I'd assume you
mm,
can.
Canada can pretty much they can just pack up and leave.
Okay, I would think so. I mean, well, obviously, moving to the U.S., they'd have to try to claim something or citizenship or go through
yeah.
something. Obviously, they didn't come for vacation or temporary status,
Well, I mean,
but
they're
yeah,
they're
just
they're
curious. I
they're,
know some
they're
places it's like you got to hit a lottery to be able to leave. So it's
well,
like
they're technically under attack, so they could claim asylum.
Yep.
Technically, I agree. I don't see why they couldn't.
hmm That's some crazy ass shit. They're trying to do that.
I would hope they don't just you know come over and just become American citizens. I would hope that they would say, "Hey, we're seceding from
I
Canada."
I couldn't fucking tell the difference any fucking way. So it's
No,
all good. I,
mm,
I mean, honestly, the Canadians are more American than anything else, man. And if you
unless you
really,
get into the areas where they're heavily French influenced.
oh,
I
that's
don't know.
only in Quebec. Uh, yeah, Quebec is all that area down there. That's more in the middle of the country though.
I don't
Um,
want to claim that Justin Bieber guy is American. He can stay Canadian.
yeah, I could say that. Yeah, for sure, bro. He said Justin Bieber. What the fuck, bro? Out of all the Canadians, he picked that motherfucker. Fuck that guy.
That was priceless.
That was some funny ass shit, bro. I was like, yeah, fuck.
He's a
I don't want to
Justin
claim
Bieber.
that motherfucker. Fuck that guy. Well, actually, that motherfucker lives in California, so he's already here, bro. You're fucked. The fucker's got a nice fucking. He lives somewhere in California, somewhere in think other uh, Brentwood or one of those fucking places, real rich places. So there.
You'd think, if you were Canadian and became a star, say you're making your money in the U.S., like everything's cheaper in Canada. The hotels, like it seems like everything's cheaper in Canada. You can damn near get a 5-star hotel for like $120 a night in there. Like, so why wouldn't you? Not that I'm
Well,
complaining. I mean, if you
I
make your
think
money here, it'd be nice you spend it here. But it seems
yeah
like
I
it'd be financially wise to stay living over the border.
yeah um I honestly think that most Canadians don't want to be in Canada, bro.
Yeah, or maybe they have some crazy taxes too. I'm unaware of. I don't know.
Their
Well, you know
taxes are
what they
fucking
do with
ridiculous.
they do with the healthcare system. They've got to be paying some outrageous taxes.
Yeah, because they had that same Obamacare bullshit where everybody fucking gets free health
Nah,
care and shit.
yeah. And you gotta
And
wait like
and
2 years to see a specialist, or just drive
I
down to
don't
the
You're,
I
state.
don't
you're,
think
you're,
it's I don't
you're,
think it's that bad because I have friends in Calgary and they don't have that problem.
Okay. Yeah,
When
I've heard
I'm
mixed things. I've heard normal checkup, things like that are fairly standard, not an issue. But any kind of specialist, because it's there's not that many there that there's a hell of a backlog. But maybe
Yeah,
things have changed, or
they'll
who
go to
knows?
the
I don't know.
U.S.
That's why the wealthy people in Canada come here for health care.
Mhm.
They take a vacation and get an appendicitis.
I'm shocked by the statement there because I've actually priced them like right up by you know Niagara Falls, Canadian side, stuff like that, and it's a lot cheaper than what I see around here. I
Well,
also
yeah,
know
go,
people, even my kids have gone up there to party. So
yeah, get a fucking room in Vancouver. You ain't gonna pay that money.
hmm,
Vancouver's fucking stupid expensive, bro.
yeah, you're talking just crossing over
What
the
do you
border,
want?
man. Just right there. It's probably not going to be super expensive right there, but yeah, you get up into the main areas, you're going to be paying some money out, like Hobos is saying, and Hobby's Hobos out there saying that you're
all
going to
right.
be paying some decent money, man.
I've stepped foot in Canada just far enough to drag a deer back across the line, and that's
Wow.
You need 100 grand.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely broke an international rule there, fucking Bama
no.
Daddy.
I shot it in the United States, and it
Uh
went
huh.
over into Canada.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't care.
We know what you did.
I could care less.
He's like, I don't give a fuck. What you gonna do? Come find me?
Yeah. By the believe me, I could see for a long ways. There was nobody unless they were down in the grass with field glasses. And
Well, where the fuck were you at?
I went on a bear hunt with PSE Archery. I used to be a field archer for them, and we didn't see any bear, but the guy that set the trip up, that we were on a preserve, not a preserve, but with a guide, and the guide had his stamps, and he said the game warden came by and said, "I'm gonna pull your stamps if you don't kill more deer." And so they took us out and said, "We're gonna go kill some deer today." And I mean, it's like shooting cows in a pasture. But it's not like deer hunting down here.
There's so many of them, huh?
And they're huge.
Oh, yeah, man, they're well fed over there.
And I pierced one's hide with a Easton XX75 shaft, and
Oh
it
man,
bounded and jumped over the fence into
he
Canada.
remembers the shaft he shot it with. Goddamn. Are you trying to promote that motherfucker? What you doing? What you trying to do, Bama?
What? You heard shaft and you go off on it. Oh,
Yo, man, I shot it with an X75. Fucking.
yeah, it was.
Look, any good archer knows Easton arrows suck.
They didn't back in the day.
Yeah, that was before they went unionized, bro. Then they went to shit.
Yeah, that was back before there was a carbon fiber era.
You know, I mean, that carbon fiber.
Back when I was shooting for PSE, you either shot cedar arrows or you shot Easton aluminum arrows. That's all there was.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. Canada is a weird fucking kind of people, man.
Yeah. I think the people are good. I think the politics is crazy.
Yeah, but they voted for fucking Carney, man. Because they said he's going to stand up to Trump, blah, blah, blah. He ain't done shit for them.
What's he gonna stand up to?
Dude, it's just like the same thing with Newsom. Like, this dumb motherfucker always tries to come up with some other shit to kind of outdo Trump. And I'm like, everybody fucking hates you in this fucking state, bro. You know?
I don't think he could get. I don't know. I say he can't get reelected, but
No, he can't get reelected. He's already done with his term. This is his last term. That's what we're gonna
y'all
vote.
got term limits on governor.
We do.
That's the only reason.
I think it's 8 years. Yeah. After that, they're fucking done. Get the fuck out. In a way, it's good though, man. Because Newsom is just he wants to start a fucking civil war in the state, bro. He really does.
Yeah, he you know, when he starts threatening, we'll just go around the U.S. government and we'll let all the Chinese ships come in here and not charge them tariffs. You'll go to jail.
Yeah, I can just see that guy being somebody's bitch in San Quentin. Ooh, look at that pretty bitch right there with his slick hair.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'd have a hokey pokey party with him and Pelosi's husband.
Unfortunately, you'd probably end up in federal. And despite what people think, federal's actually a hell of a lot nicer than it should be.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, TV, bracelets. I mean, they got jewelry allowances, all types of shit. Like it's honestly kind of disgusting.
He'll be in the fucking jail cell next to El Chapo and shit. They'll be talking about routes through California, through Canada. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
shit, National Guard's still filling in a lot of the prisons, like to this day.
Where at?
New York.
A bunch of them from Portland and put them in jail. Every time I see something on that, it makes
Portland's a fucking cesspool of fucking morons, dude.
It is.
Oh my god. Those guys are just fucking dumb as fuck. And then yesterday they did that whole no kings fucking thing. Like, what the fuck are you guys protesting? Like, well, I don't understand.
Well, no, here's the thing. You're not meant to understand. What you need to understand is all these people that were out there, 90% of them couldn't give one good reason for why they were there, other than the fact they were paid to be there.
Fucking George Soros paid their ass.
Soros and all these other ones keep paying all these people to fucking show up. That's the only reason they're there. Because there's people that have gone out and interviewed these people as to why are you here, and they can't give one good fucking reason.
No, where are you from?
I think some of those people are believers, though, because even locally here, there was a few hundred. Some stuff went down. Nothing horrible like they show on TV, but some of these people are just local people. Like the last year, I seen one of my customers down there. I went down there to videotape the damn thing and try not to get attacked, which was a whole nother story. But basically, some of them are locals. Like I doubt they're getting paid, honestly. But they're true believers or something. But the weird part is their whole statement, no king. We don't have a damn king. We ain't had king. Like, we fought to get rid of, be separated from a king. It doesn't make any damn sense. Like,
well,
clearly he's not a king.
The whole thing on Trump, that deal about somebody trying to put Trump in for a third term. Isn't that what that's all based on?
I don't know. I
don't know, man. But here's my thing. He knows he can't do a third term, and nobody's going to give him that shit. But I sure as hell love the way he trolls the fuck out of people when he puts the fucking Trump 2028 fucking hats. That shit was fucking funny, man. Those shits are hilarious, bro. Fuck, that guy loves to fucking troll people. He doesn't give a fuck. And
the buttons and watches them go nuts.
Yeah, he enjoys that shit, dude.
It's like the thing about it is full of cockroaches.
They don't know they're being trolled on, and when they get trolled on, they don't like it. Like that video where he talks about, we're just a bunch of liberal woke pieces of shit. I fucking died laughing. I was like, I can't believe that came from him.
Well, I saw something today that shocked me. You know, for the largest part, the Portland police have been standing in the background and not, you know, they had orders not to take
Yeah,
any calls or anything, go on no services, anything with the federal government. But then today they showed one where they were actively grabbing people on the streets and pulling them back into the ICE facility and arresting them. And I'm like, when did that change take place? I guess the mayor or the governor got so humiliated they kind of gave in. I don't know.
yeah. I think it was a combination of a lot of it. I think to a certain point they know that they if they continue losing the 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 they continue losing like respect within their organization, it's gonna go bad. And another thing that I've noticed too since Trump's taken over, dude, is the how fucking certain governors wanna put like local law enforcement against federal law enforcement when in reality they're both one and the same, man. You know,
Yeah.
I,
Well,
But
and don't get me wrong, you've got some of them that will sit there and do as they're told, but there's been a lot of them that have said, "No, fuck you, we're not doing that."
was it like Governor J.D. Butterfinger or
Yeah,
what's his
you've
name?
had you had Chicago. They were refusing to assist. You had some other places too, Minnesota. Um, you know, your typical way off kilter places. Um, but yeah, some of the cops were refusing to take those orders and standing with their fellow brethren on the other side.
Well, they're fired if they do. They know that.
yeah, it sucks that
And
you
I feel
know.
sorry for them because, you know, I mean, yeah, you'd love for them to stand up, but if they stand up, they lose their job.
Yeah, the biggest one that I see is that fucking chief of police of LA.
Jeez.
That guy, he would not stand up for any fucking thing. He lets Karen Bass tell him what the fuck to do all the time. And you're like, dude, you're a piece of shit. Like, why would you even fucking wear a fucking badge if
Yeah,
you're just gonna let this fucking crazy lunatic bitch fucking tell you what to do?
I think he's, you know, he's ended up to his eyeballs. I don't blame her for that. That's his choice. I think he's as into her game as she is.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that just go with the flow of whatever the next magical fad is. We're
I'll tell you what, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these weird hair colors till I can't stand it. I mean, if it
you
don't
don't
grow
like
out
the
of your head
rainbow?
purple and green, it shouldn't be there.
You don't like the rainbow?
No, I don't. Not that
uh,
rainbow.
Fucking
uh,
Finding Nemo and shit.
That's makes me get tired of Gmail every now and then. You know, you open up your computer and you open up Google and you look up there and the first thing they do is got, hey, it's Gay Pride Month. Oh, I'm
oh,
switching.
that's an everyday thing. It's not even a month anymore. When you open Google, it's always there.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know, they came out with a whole group of emojis that are just nothing but rainbow stuff.
Right, but some places won't let you post an American flag, but you can post a fucking rainbow shit.
Or you can post an image of two guys and a little boy, two dads and a son.
But anyway, we're getting to that time, so we'll start going through the room. Rob, what you got?
Uh, just words of advice, you know, eat a salad once in a while. Don't be a pussy. Dodge the landmines, and we'll catch you next week.
There you go. Good advice, minus the fucking salad. Bama Dad, what you got, man?
Not a whole lot. I got some new parts coming in for the new rifle. I'm gonna get that thing back together and see if I can't quit plowing rows in the ground. But other than that, I don't really have anything else going on.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Bean, what you got going on, brother?
No, today I did some brass prep. Had a bunch of 9mm that I picked up from the range. That shit looked like 3 colors of fucking brown. Now that's all nice and shiny. So yeah, just getting all that stuff prepped. Probably next week I'll be reloading more 9mm because I used up quite a few in this last range visit. So, and just working away, man, like always. So that's all I got.
Always appreciate you, man. Always good to see you. All right. With that being said, folks, appreciate everyone out in the side chat. We had lots of good conversation going on out there. And always appreciate you guys showing up. Alan, please take us out right, brother.
Man,
Oh man,
like
great chat. Great to see everybody out in the side chat, and you know, everybody that joined us here in the room. Much obliged to you. Thank you very much.
Dude, you look like a child molester. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
I mean, I have been watching the Ed Gein story. Does that help?
I'm just fucking with you. Hey, I don't see you all the time, man. I gotta fuck with you, right?
Well, I do intend on living forever, and so far, so good.
Bad weed don't die.
The one piece of advice that I will give everybody is to keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!